seeing that, nigga, I'm snuffing you. You already know what it is, nigga. You going in your bag, talking about touch me and do this and do that. It's the nigga with the gun on him syndrome, bro.
But would you often be the aggressor though? In that case,
nigga, we playing sports, bro.
They wasn't playing sports. You about to hear what happened?
Oh my god. It's testosterone.
With a 17-year-old accused of stabbing another teen at a Texas track meet. Well, he was released from jail moments ago after a judge lowered his bond. It was originally set at $1 million. Then it is.
Yeah. Been recording on nigga. But back with another one.
Yo, Hub.
It's your host Lito G in the building.
It's your boy HY.
Y'all know what's up. We about to get into this news about a young man that got into a case with an arrest with a student in a high school track meet. The young man was stabbed in his chest. He lost his life in altercation. Other young man is fighting a self-defense case right now, and we trying to debate on. I don't think it's a race situation about how it started, but we're going to debate on a lot of the optics about the race situation as far as the way people are perceiving things right now.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Let's keep it moving with these top headlines. Our next one takes us outside Dallas, Texas. And this is what we know. The 17-year-old accused of stabbing another teen at a Texas track meet. Well, he was released from jail moments ago after a judge lowered his bond. It was originally set at $1 million. Then it has dropped to $250,000. Well, our colleague, Fox News multimedia reporter, Sarah Allegre was inside the courtroom as this all went down. She joins me from Frisco, Texas, outside the courtroom live. And Sarah, thanks so much for being with us here. This story has garnered a lot of national attention. What more do we need to know?
Absolutely, and it's that national attention. It's played a big role when we're talking about the security and the safety of all parties, really, in this case. And that was something mentioned today, and you could see it, too, here just outside the Collin County Courthouse, inside the courtroom as well. There was a heightened security presence, additional law enforcement, at least more than usual. The judge even made it known that she had received several threatening phone calls ahead of the hearing and hasn't been under this kind of pressure, really, or seen a case reach this public scale in her 13 years of being on the bench. Another key thing that stood out a little bit earlier today was who took the witness stand. We did hear from Karmelo Anthony's father, the suspect in this case, and we got more of an idea of his son's character. He talked about Karmelo Anthony being a straight-A student, the captain of the football and track teams, and a church regular. Now, the defense says all that matters when it comes to bond. Also, that Anthony's not a flight risk and has strong community ties.
Bond, as the judge said, is not supposed to be an instrument of oppression. It's not supposed to keep people in jail. It's not supposed to punish. It's supposed to ensure that a person shows up to court, complies with all conditions, and it's supposed to keep the community safe. So this is a large and substantial bond, and the judge has, I think, rightly imposed reasonable conditions that will ensure both Karmelo and the Anthony family's safety, but also the safety of the community.
Prosecutors argue the bond should stay at $1 million for a number of reasons. They first pointed out the severity of this case, but also pointed to that fundraiser that raised over $400,000 in legal costs for Anthony's family. But the judge disagreed here. She settled on.
Hey, yo, this is the wild shit, right? We're gonna get into this, but the victim has funds coming in also that's supposed to do something for them. It's like if it was some type of case where they would be suing the kid for or the kid family for the incident that happened, then that's how they would be getting money. But they not. They getting funded by people in a like GoFundMe type situation, and I'm sure it's some bread, but whatever.
On house arrest with an ankle monitor, again that reduced bond, and a weekly phone check-in with a bailiff.
Made the call, and so what's important is what's next. Frisco PD will be finishing up their investigation. They will submit the case to my office. We will review it and ultimately present it to a grand jury. And so that's what's next.
Anthony's accused of stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a track meet between their schools. Witnesses say the two got into a fight over seating, that Metcalf pushed Anthony, and that's when Anthony pulled a knife from his bag and stabbed him in the heart. Metcalf died in his twin brother's arms, and court records say Anthony admitted to the stabbing and asked officers if this could count as self-defense. And both Karmelo Anthony's parents, along with Austin Metcalf's parents, were both inside the courtroom earlier this morning. As you can imagine, both parties, both quiet and somber. Andrew?
Sarah, just a couple of questions. When is the next court hearing? I mean, how long is Anthony going to be in this kind of home detention here?
That's to be determined at this point. Right now, Frisco PD just working on collecting evidence. And
how do you ask if how long somebody gonna be in home detention the moment that a case starts? Like, the case just started and you asking how long is he gonna be on house arrest? How fast you want him to plead guilty? Which he already did, but y'all don't like the law in this specific way, so y'all stab him in the heart to kind of show like this, give people this opinion already about what's to come. And that's why I be telling people don't be going no grand jury, because the news is already setting them up to have the opinion that they want to have. And what I mean by that is the people that's on grand jury is not going to not watch TV just because they you know what I mean? Because I got to go to court, so I'm not going to watch TV. Yeah. That sounds stupid. They listening to whatever these people saying. So I be telling niggas, don't go to no fucking grand jury. Let the law state what the law state. Don't fuck people's opinion. The law got specific rules for shit.
And giving that to the district attorney's office. They will then review it and then present that before a grand jury. So really on the DA's timeline, along with Frisco PD. As for Karmelo Anthony, yes, he'll be on house arrest. He cannot leave his home without the judge knowing. Of course, he will have a leg monitor as well and will be under tight watch of his family, his friends at that home. And just learned a little bit more about his background and then what that home life will look like moving forward as he fights those charges from home now.
All right, Sarah Allegre there live for us in Frisco, Texas. Sarah, thanks for bringing us the details on this story. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
All right, in the meantime here, it's not only our colleague there, Sarah Allegre with Fox, it's also our colleague there at Fox 4 Dallas, our friend reporter Stephen Dial. He's also on this story. He filed this report as well. Let's listen.
17-year-old Karmelo Anthony was silent after bonding out of the Collin County Jail and being placed on house arrest.
How is this self-defense?
2 days after the family of Austin Metcalf buried their son, they were at the Collin County Courthouse for a bond reduction hearing Monday. Karmelo Anthony is accused of stabbing and killing Metcalf at a Frisco track meet earlier this month. The case has quickly become national news, drawing a lot of attention, resulting in threats and increased security at the courthouse.
Threats and, talk of race war and all kinds of insanity isn't good for, obviously, the Anthony family. It's not good for the Metcalf family.
Cameras were not allowed inside the courtroom, but we did capture the Anthony family arriving. His father, Andrew, testified in the hearing. District Court Judge Angela Tucker said that she's never gotten this volume of calls and had to have this level of security in the courtroom in her 13 years on the bench. Court documents say Anthony stabbed Metcalf during a fight. When an officer arrived, court documents say Anthony told the officer, "I was protecting myself." Collin County District Attorney Greg Willis spoke after the hearing.
The judge has made the call, and so what's important is what's next, and it's our job to be level-headed, to be fact-based, and to follow the truth wherever it leads.
Anthony's father testified he's taking a leave from work because of the incident, and his wife is a stay-at-home mother with 3 other children. During the hearing, the prosecution brought up the fact that more than $400,000 have been raised for the Anthony family, saying a reduction is not needed because they have the funds. A big question in this case will be, why did Anthony bring a weapon to a high school stadium? It's a question that was asked of his attorney.
That's an understandable question, but it's not something that, frankly, we're prepared to even go into.
All right, our thanks there to our friend at Fox 4 Dallas, reporter Stephen Dial. So that's the news in this story. I know you've been following it extremely closely, that this 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony was released on a reduced bond today. Remember, prosecutors there had...
Did you see his eyeballs just now? When he said reduce, hold on.
Asked for $1 million. It's now been reduced to $250,000. So right now you're going to hear from Anthony's defense team, and this is how they are answering questions and rationalizing some of the self-defense arguments that have been made on their client's behalf. Let's listen.
That nigga said, and they are rationalizing the client's made on behalf of his behavior. Hey yo, why is it that you cannot protect yourself against a threat in a stand your ground state? That is very odd to me. Like, I really don't get it. What's y'all intention on just wanting to have a freedom to be able to do whatever and think we just like not gonna act like we the citizens of this land too? It's very weird to me.
We can't do this in here.
Maybe
5 more seconds? Okay. Good? Everybody good? All right. Every Texan has the right to defend themselves when they reasonably fear for their life. Self-defense is a protection that applies to each and every one of us. There are two sides to every story, and Karmelo is a 17-year-old kid and an excellent student. He is the captain of his track team. He is the captain of his football team. And prior to this, what was on his mind was what college he was going to go to. This is a tragedy all the way around for both families. Rushing to judgment, trial by public perception and trial by media is not how we ensure justice is done. We are confident that after a full investigation, that the truth will come out. Thank you.
Mike, you took umbrage with the state's assessment that this was simple and brutal. Why so?
Well, the fact of the matter is, like I said, there's two sides to every story, and we've only heard one side. In any criminal case, the police investigate, and the defense is always far behind that. And so it is a one-sided investigation to this point, and even that investigation is still ongoing. So to say that it happened this way or that way is just not accurate at this point. All of the facts are going to come out, and that's why our system of justice requires that we keep our minds open and we let the facts come out as they are after a full investigation.
Is your client going to be able to make bond and get out today?
I anticipate that he will be able to make bond. I can't speak to how quickly that will go. Funds, in the funds that have been raised are not quick to come out. And then, there's obviously a process to the release process once bond is posted.
The big question that a lot of people have is, why was this young man armed on school property?
That's an understandable question, but it's not something that, frankly, we're prepared to even go into. This is something that I know the police and the prosecution want to get it right and want to have a full and fair investigation, and so do we. So it would be irresponsible for me or them at this point to start saying, this is what happened, this is why anything. So I understand that's a big question. It's going to be a big question, and it's something that we will find out. And we ask that the public, as hard as it is, withhold judgment and let both of these families have justice. That let both of these young men, the Metcalf family and the memory of who they've lost, but also Karmelo, have a fair and full justice process.
Ultimately, your feeling on the reduction of this bond, do you feel it's fair?
Yeah, I feel it's fair. Bond, as the judge said, is not supposed to be an instrument of oppression. It's not supposed to keep people in jail. It's not supposed to punish. It's supposed to ensure that a person shows up to court, complies with all conditions, and it's supposed to keep the community safe. So this is a large and substantial bond, and the judge has, I think, rightly imposed reasonable conditions that will ensure both Karmelo and the Anthony family's safety, but also the safety of the community.
What was Karmelo's reaction today? He didn't seem very talkative toward you. And how has jail, I guess, been so far for this teenager? And is he on suicide watch or anything like that?
I honestly can't speak to Karmelo's reaction because I was so focused on the hearing and what was going on and what the judge was saying. I think we have to all remember Karmelo is a 17-year-old kid who's never been in any sort of trouble before. If you can just put yourself in his shoes, this is a scary, bewildering process. And I can't even imagine what was going through his head, just as I'm sure I can't imagine what was going through the heads of the Metcalf family. So, this is something that is new to all of them and incredibly trying.
So for people who want to know, why were you selected? I mean, what is your experience? I mean, you had to be really good.
I can't speak as to why I was selected,
Honestly,
Yes,
you could tell by that voice who asking that question and giving him that credibility. Because, you took that case in Texas? You know what's this remind me of? What's that movie with Matt McConaughey and Sam?
Fair sentence.
Objection,
Do you think
Your
they
Honor.
deserve to die, Mr.
Your
Henry?
Honor.
Answer the
Mr.
question.
Buckley. Carly,
Did
don't
they
answer
deserve
that
to
question.
die?
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Where the suspected white supremacist raped his daughter and shit, and then he killed them. Or he did something to them motherfuckers, and Matt McConaughey represented him in court, and he won, and it was like a whole uproar. But this nigga remind me of him, look like a little Abe Lincoln and shit. So he the Lincoln lawyer out this bitch. I don't know what's going on.
In any case, it's important to have an attorney that you connect with, that you feel has the right amount of experience and the right investment in the case. And I'm not speaking to anybody else. I just know that that's important in any case.
Just how unsafe does this family feel? You mentioned it multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to speak for them at this point, but I think you can imagine the press coverage on this case has been immense, and the online and public reaction has been immense. And unfortunately, as is common in our culture, especially lately, the vitriol and the public reaction one way or the other has been intense. And threats and talk of race war and all kinds of insanity isn't good for, obviously, the Anthony family. It's not good for the Metcalf family. It's not good for the peace and safety of our community. So, I would ask, and I know both sides would ask, that the temperature on this be allowed to come down, that the media, you guys have a job to do, and I understand that, everyone does, but, at the same time, we just ask everyone in the public and everywhere to let this process play out fairly and fully for both sides. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so there you have it. That was Karmelo Anthony's defense counsel there. What we want to do, though, before we go to a quick commercial break, obviously, in light of fairness here, we want to hear from also the prosecution, who is charged with prosecuting this case here. Let's listen.
Good morning, everybody. There's not much I can say, but the judge.
Mic on you, sorry.
All right.
Can you come this way?
All right. Sure.
Okay, that's fine, right there.
All right. There's not much I can say. The judge has made the call, and so what's important is what's next. Frisco PD will be finishing up their investigation. They will submit the case to my office. We will review it and ultimately present it to a grand jury. And so that's what's next. That's really much. It's pretty much all I can say right now. We do our speaking in as far as the facts go in the courtroom. Many of you were in there, so you understand what was said. But this is a terrible tragedy for our entire, not just Frisco, but Collin County community. One family has suffered a permanent loss. It's the most unnatural thing for a parent to lose their child. It's permanent. It's profound. It's certainly premature. And it's the hardest thing that I think a human being can go through is to lose their child. The Anthony family has had a different kind of loss, but a loss nonetheless. But the judge has made her call, and we look forward to continuing the process and looking forward to reviewing all the facts of the case that Frisco PD is coming up with and present it to a grand jury. What we're concerned about as prosecutors is justice, truth, and accountability. And so we will go where the facts lead us. Thank you so much.
Could you speak about the security and the vitriol and just the safety even for the judge and your officer?
Well, this has definitely rocked our entire community.
Yeah, because they was acting like they wasn't going to address. They was talking about killing this black judge.
It has struck a nerve in the community, and it's hard for everybody to be level-headed at a time like this. So that's where we come in. It's our job to be level-headed, to be fact-based, and to follow the truth wherever it leads. Thank you so much.
And what is your guidance?
There was
Interesting.
this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. Before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless.
Now hold up. If anybody knows street lingo, right? When you a square, you don't really use that type of language when you don't say somebody's talking reckless. See, when somebody starts saying you talking reckless, like, they're usually the type of people that respond in some type of way to that. They usually consider themselves type stand-up people if they're saying somebody's talking reckless to them, because that means it's basically, it's not a good move for the other person to be making type shit. But then you saying homie sitting there and y'all telling him to move in a public place in the bleachers. He was under their tent, to my understanding, but I also understood that it was pouring down, raining. And you try to tell me to go walk outside in the rain. That's a little wild. But we're going to let it rock. We're going to let introvert rock star do what he do.
And my brother stepped in and said, you need to move. He's like, make me move. Also grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I looked at And I look at my brother, and then I'm not going to talk about the rest. So that's just what I saw. And I try to help him, but
it was just senseless.
It was really senseless. Really, I don't know why a person would do that to someone just over that little argument. It's just crazy in this world nowadays how people just up and do that. Like,
it's crazy nowadays how people up and protect themselves from 6'2", 200-pound twins running up on them, telling them to go walk in the rain. But if he'd let y'all pop on him, y'all got a story to tell. Somebody gonna record it. It's high school. They 17. Everybody want to go viral. They all clout chasing. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm not in the private section somewhere, I tell a nigga move away from me. But I'm not really gonna walk up into a nigga where I'm not at and be like, yo, you gotta move from here. If you ain't doing nothing, nigga sitting there and it's pouring down rain and he's sitting in the corner. And we don't even know if other people from his team was sitting in that tent either. Like, we gonna find out, I'm sure.
That man has a family. That man has people that care about them all the time, and he did everything for our family too. He was a strong man. He was a strong kid.
And look, first of all, rest in peace to that young man. But on this channel, we hold racist Caucasian people accountable. His brother just told us the truth. Listen again. Run the tape.
And my brother stepped in and said, you need to move. He's like, make me move. Austin grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I look at my brother, and then I'm not going to talk about the rest. So that's just what I saw. And I try to help him, but
it was just senseless.
His twin brother attacked first. Make that make sense. And notice he said, I'm not going to talk about the rest. Well, guess what, partner? I'm going to talk about the rest, because racist Caucasian people, they always love to attack our people and hide their hands, attack our people and cry wolf. But now on this channel, we let nothing slide. So let's get right into this article so I can show y'all how cold the game really is. And this article is by the New York Post. It was published April 4th, 2025 at 9:36 a.m. The chilling words team told cops after allegedly stabbing Texas football star Austin Metcalf, who died in twin brother's arms. And notice how they use certain words. He died in his twin brother's arms, but they won't tell you the truth, but they'll play with your mind. They'll play psychological games with our minds to make us feel sorry. But let's carry on. The teenager accused of fatally stabbing Austin Metcalf and leaving him to die in his twin brother's arms at a high school track meet allegedly admitted to the senseless unaliving, but claimed it was in self-defense. I'm not alleged. I did it, 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony chillingly told police in Frisco, Texas, as he was being arrested at Kirkendall Stadium. The horrific stabbing was sparked when Anthony, who was sitting under another team's pop-up tent as it rained Wednesday morning, was asked by Metcalf to move, and Anthony refused. Anthony then unzipped a bag, reached inside, and told Metcalf, whom he had never met before, touch me and see what happens, a witness told police. And look, the brother already told us.
Now the wild shit is, I don't know why people keep trying to relate them like they did know each other. If they did know each other, then what? Oh yeah, he premeditated now because they met each other before. They not on the same football team. They not in the same school. Why they gotta know each other? Oh, he's a Metcalf is a star in one school, and Karmelo is a captain of his team. If I'm not mistaken, the quarterback of his team and the captain of the track team. So I don't know, bro. They be trying to work, bro. These motherfuckers be bugging.
What happened? But you have to use your common sense. No young black man that's captain of the football team that has a 4.0 is gonna randomly
what I just
attack.
said. Hold up. Run that back.
Brother already told us what happened, but you have to use your common sense. No young black man that's captain.
What position he play? They don't even say what position he play right there. But let's say his number, but that's the captain, so he one of them.
Captain of the football team that has a 4.0 is
They
going
won't
to
keep saying
randomly
that.
attack another
They
young
don't say that.
Caucasian man. It's not happening. He didn't do that for no reason. Then I step back and say, wait, what's the race demographic in Frisco, Texas? Check this out. 51.2 Caucasian people.
51% Caucasian, 27% Asian, 0.2% Indian or Native American, basically. 1.3 other race. Well, I don't even know what that means. Hispanic or Latino. Alright, so Asian and white, that's the same thing. So that's 78%, 78.2%, right? Yeah, my math right. 78.2. The other race, they ain't claiming they black, so we was gonna add them in with them niggas. So that's what 79.5. And Hispanic, half of them probably claim they white too. So really, we just talking about about 91% white, technically. Culturally, it's gonna be that way. Can't tell me nothing else.
8.6 black people.
Before.
You might as well say 91.4% Caucasian people because
It
everyone
said,
else, especially in
the
Texas, they already want to be Caucasian. The Hispanics, the Asians, they all want to be Caucasian people. So 8.6 black people, it tell me everything I need to know about Frisco, Texas. He's not going to get a fair trial. Of course, his bond going to be set at $1 million because it's only 8.6 black people in Frisco, Texas. And tell me this, why would the article say whom he's never met before? So I said, wait, let me go further down the rabbit hole. So I went over to Facebook and everything started to make sense. Check this out. And shout out to Kevin Hayes. I think he's a track coach in Texas and he knew Karmelo Anthony. The truth about Karmelo, let's set the record straight. Enough with the misinformation. Let's talk about facts. Number one, it's normal for students from different schools to gather under another school's tent. Karmelo had friends there. He wasn't trespassing or looking for trouble. And if you ran track, you already know we always go to everybody else's tent.
Now, no cap. When I ran track, shout out to the Bulldogs. Shout out to my boys out there in the CAC. Y'all know what it is. When niggas was running track, we dad used to be all chilling together. That's really how I met a lot of the niggas that was from like North Stanley and both Davidsons and you know what I'm saying and Thomasville. Like that's how I met the niggas that was from these other places. And the track meets more so because in basketball games I wouldn't meet niggas that often, but yeah, in track meets we definitely all chopped it up together and got to know each other and was fucking with each other after the track meets, but I met the people there. So if something happened before, like just give an example, if something happened with me before I got cool with the people there, then I can't say what level that would have went up and down to or whatever like that. And it's white athletes, it's black athletes, it's white athletes hanging with black athletes, it's black athletes hanging with white athletes. You know, the black athletes that hang with the white athletes, they run long distance, and the white boys that run with the black athletes, they run fast. They probably sprinters or doing long jump or something. Pause.
That's common. Number two, the claim that one of the twins had never seen Karmelo before, a blatant lie. Number three, no student has the right to remove another student from a school-owned tent. The school owns the tent, not the twins. Number four, Karmelo is a track athlete The twins are not. He wasn't expecting to see them there. See, everybody was talking like the twins was running track and Karmelo did nothing. No, he ran track. The twins was just there bullying people. And then he says, now here's what they don't want you to know. The twins didn't just ask him to leave. They tried to jump him. Before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings. They broke his phone and stomped on it. The twins are known bullies. So ask yourself, if two 200-plus pound attackers came at your child, what would you expect them to do? And again, shout out to Kevin Hayes for that information. But you see the games that the media plays on our people. That's the reason why his brother said, I'm not going to tell the rest. Of course you're not going to tell the rest of the story because you're going to tell on yourself. And then the media is so cold with it. They showed Karmelo Anthony holding the gun, but they never showed the twins holding a gun. And you got to think about it. In Texas, every family has guns. It's like a cell phone. It's common. So for you to judge, for everybody to judge Karmelo Anthony holding that gun, but not to judge those twins holding that gun, make it make sense. But no one's going to judge them right because they have on hunting gear. That means nothing. Keep the same goddamn energy. And then Kevin Hayes said something that was very important. He said these twins are known bullies. So you have to go back to the past. In these mostly Caucasian towns where it's a lot of Caucasian people and less black people, what do they known for? What are they known for throughout history doing to our people? Let's start with the KKK. They love taking advantage of our people when we by ourselves. If it's a group of us, they don't attack. They have to catch you by themselves because, they are cowards. And see me, I can give you examples. I don't just talk. Number one, we have Robert Brooks, upstate New York. 18 correctional officers handcuffed him and unalived him. Number two, we have Ronald Green from Louisiana. 5 Louisiana troopers handcuffed him and unalived him. Number three, we have Messiah Nantwi. 15 New York, upstate New York correctional officers handcuffed him and unalived him. You even have the twins that was unalived, that was murdered in those Georgia mountains. And a volunteer firefighter took pictures. They arrested him for a few hours and released him. No questions about did he do it or not. No outrage. Where is the same outrage for those twins in Georgia, in those mountains, in that sundown town? Make it make sense. And look, I can go on and on. It's in their blood to attack our people and hide their hands. It's in their blood to attack our people and cry wolf. But not this time. They learned a valuable lesson. Karmelo Anthony just lost his best friend. You don't know what people going through. Don't touch people. Don't lay your hand on people. And for the people that are saying why he had a knife with him, it's Texas, dog. Either people got guns or they carrying knives. A lot of men, especially in the South, everybody carries pocket knives. We don't know what kind of knife he had. A lot of young men carry knives. It's just, the way of life. If you're from the North or West Coast, you probably don't understand that. But in the South, you either got a gun or you got a knife with you, or you got both. Tell me I'm lying. And look,
today, a judge reduced Anthony's bond from $1 million all the way down to $250,000. J.D. Miles was there for it. He's live for us right now outside the Collin County Jail. Anthony just left. We saw the video. What else do we need to know?
That's right, Doug and Nicole. Just 6 hours or about that much time after a judge lowered his bond, Karmelo Anthony was released. The judge who made the decision warned the accused murderer that if he violates any terms of his probation or tries to leave his home, he will be brought back right here to the Collin County Jail.
Karmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say to the victims?
Karmelo Anthony emerged from the Collin County Jail 13 days after his arrest for the murder of Austin Metcalf. The high school student had nothing to say as he headed to his parents' home, where he will be confined to an ankle monitor. It's the result of a hearing this morning over whether to lower his bond. The families of both Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf arrived at the Collin County Courthouse this morning with extra security in and around the courtroom. A new defense attorney representing the Frisco teen accused of murder had his client's father testify about his son's character, telling the judge he was a captain of his football and track teams and that he held 2 jobs while in school. He's an A student, said Andrew Anthony. Does he have plans to go to college? Yes, sir.
And prior to this, what was on his mind was what college he was going to go to. This is a tragedy all the way around for both families.
And look, Karmelo is going to beat this case. And later on in this video, I'm going to show you how. But I'm seeing racist Caucasian people and are very upset right now. Like, damn, y'all really want to see a black man rot in prison for defending himself. The game is cold. But I already told y'all they will be okay. Stop tripping. You want to know how many of our people died at the hands of racist Caucasian people and they walked away scot-free, no prison time, low bail, make it make sense. Oh, you think I'm just talking around, grabbing on people, punching on people? It's not going to end well. Especially if you're Caucasian grabbing a black person. Never do that to the non-racist Caucasian people that watch my channel. Please listen to me. Whatever you do, never, ever grab a black person and attempt to remove them from a certain area because you will regret it. That's why Karmelo asked the cops, was Austin okay? Because he didn't try to end his life, but you can't go around punching on black people. You can't go around grabbing black people because those slavery days are over. And then you have people saying that he's going to prison because he had a knife on campus. That's going to be an easy argument to win in Karmelo's favor. For one, he has the best attorney in Texas, and he was at a track meet. He can use that knife for anything. That knife could have been used for cutting tape, for anything. But this is the real reason why Karmelo Anthony will win his case. Check this out. And this article is by TMZ. They had the best article when I was doing my research, so I went with them. It was published April 15, 2025, which was yesterday. The judge who reduced Karmelo Anthony's bond this week is getting some added security, TMZ Sports has learned, after law enforcement says she has been the recipient of threats following her key decision in the murder case. The Collin County Sheriff's Office told us Tuesday it's beefed up protection around Judge Angela Tucker in the wake of her Monday choice to lower the alleged high school track meet unaliver bail from $1 million to $250,000. The CCSO said court staff and concerned citizens reported the make it make sense. If the individual responsible is identified, the CCSO said potential charges could include unlawful disclosure of residence, address, or telephone number, and obstruction or retaliation. It's unclear exactly what the contents of the comments made against Tucker were, but the judge reportedly turned her X, aka Twitter, page private shortly after Monday's hearing due to them. So I'm gonna just be honest, I feel like Karmelo Anthony can beat this case. You got goddamn racist people sending threats at a judge. Then you got the Metcalf family. They divided as hell. And in my opinion, by them going on all those news outlets right after the murder, I think that was a big mistake because in court, you cannot change your story. And I'm hurt that Karmelo and his family have to go through this just because he was defending himself. But in America, they don't want a black man defending himself against racism. But I'm so happy to see a beautiful, black, successful family. Karmelo Anthony was in high school working 2 jobs, captain of the football team, and he was a great student. So in my opinion, I feel like God and the ancestors will have his back in this fight. We will also. So welcome home, Karmelo Anthony. We got your back. I'm out.